Hello again. I've spoken before of the undeniable fact that different nationalities and ethnic groups have different traditions and customs, and also that these tend to vary over the course of time. They can relate to religion, eating, social customs, even things like murder and theft. In Britain, murder has always tended to be a domestic crime carried out indoors among family and friends. In recent years, immigration has brought new ideas to this country, and these are reflected in the increasing number of murders committed outdoors among people who are not related or indeed even known to each other. We see this with what are sometimes called stabbing sprees. The situation is very similar in Germany, of course, where open air attacks of this kind against strangers are also on the increase. This is bad enough, but there are two more points worth considering. One is that children are beginning to be the targets of these frenzied attacks, as we saw at Southport last summer. The latest such attack took place this morning in Bavaria, when an Afghan asylum-seeker said to have mental health problems attacked a group of children from a kindergarten, killing a 2-year-old and an adult helper, and wounding a number of other toddlers. This is the second factor which we often see with this kind of attack: the presence of supposed mental problems, either psychiatric illness or autistic spectrum disorder. I will not list all the cases in this country where this has been mentioned at subsequent trials, but a quick Google search will readily show what I'm talking about. This is so often the case that if we read a news item beginning "an Afghan asylum seeker with mental health problems," then we can be pretty sure that he will not have been helping an old lady across the road or rescuing somebody from a burning building. Far more likely is that he would have done something violent and unpredictable. This too is probably a manifestation of cultural differences. White British people with mental illnesses, particularly psychoses, are more likely to harm themselves or commit suicide than they are to injure or kill others. There are, of course, exceptions, but as a rule, with British people, the aggression turns inward rather than being directed outward against others. As I say, there have always been exceptions, but I'm talking here of trends, not absolutes. It is curious that when somebody went wild with a knife today in Germany, the targets should have been small children. We are inescapably reminded of the tragedy in Southport. There too, mental health problems were mentioned fairly early on as a possible explanation, and there too was a connection with asylum seekers, in that the culprit was the son of asylum seekers. There is something here which needs to be investigated more closely, because it strikes me that we are seeing the development of a possible syndrome that discontented men of Middle Eastern or African heritage who wish to make a spectacular display to draw attention to their supposed grievances might well begin to get the idea that little children are the best targets to achieve that end. We must hope that some criminologists are studying this possibility and trying to work out ways to avert any future such attacks.